at me! Ah! Very good! We are killers! It's good!
You would think a game from 2007 would be long gone by now, but TF2 is still going strong.
How could this happen?
The 10th of October, the game TF2 was released to the public alongside the Orange Box and Half-Life 2 and Portal. When TF2 first came out, it only had 6 maps: Dust Bowl, Granary, Gravel Pit, Well, 2 Fort and Hydro, and of course the 9 classes we all know today: Heavy, Scout, Medic, Demoman, Soldier, Spy, Engineer, Sniper and Pyro. What really made the game stand out though was the style. Instead of trying to be another dark, gritty military shooter like every other game at the time, TF2 went for a colourful, cartoony look, full of humour and personality. The unique mix of art, style and team-focused gameplay grabbed people's attention right away, and it's big part of why TF2 built such a strong community from the start.
Don't worry, boys. The engineer is here.
Between 2008 and 2009, TF2 really started to grow with what people call class update era. Valve began rolling out big updates focused on specific classes, and each one came with new weapons, achievements, and sometimes even new game modes. The Medic was the first class to get unlockable weapons, like the Kritzkrieg, which completely changed how people played. Then came updates for the Heavy, Pyro, Scout, Sniper, and Spy, each shaking up the meta with brand new playstyles. And in 2009, something small but game-changing arrived: hats. At the first, it seemed like just a fun cosmetic thing, but hats ended up starting an entire culture of trading and customization that's still a huge part of TF2 today.
Medic Gaming! I have no idea what I'm saying!
Then in 2010, Valve dropped the Man Economy update, and this completely changed the game. For the first time, TF2 got an in-game store and a full trading system. Players could actually buy, sell, and trade hats with each other.
Screw you! I am gonna go play Minecraft! Ah, crap.
This was the beginning of TF2's famous economy. Suddenly, items weren't just cosmetic, they had real value. Rare hats, especially unusuals with particle effects, quickly become some of the most sought-after items in the game. What started as a funny little hat system back in 2009 now turned into a whole marketplace, and it gave TF2 an identity that went way beyond just playing matches. In 2011, TF2 took another massive step. On June the 23rd, the game went to free-to-play. Overnight, the player base exploded. Suddenly, tons of new players were jumping in, which made servers feel more alive than ever. Of course, that also meant you can run into a lot more inexperienced players, and yeah, bots started to become more of an issue too. But for the most part, it brought a new wave of energy to the game. Valve kept money side of things going through cosmetics, items, crates, and Manco store, and that free-to-play shift is one of the main reasons TF2 stayed so popular for so long. 2012 was a big year for TF2. In August, Valve released Man vs. Machine, a brand new co-op mode where 6 players team up to fight endless waves of killer bots. It felt completely different from usual multiplayer matches, and it gave players another reason to keep coming back. People could spend hours grinding through waves, upgrading their weapons mid-match, and working together to survive. But that wasn't all. Around the same time, Valve also gave the community Source Filmmaker, or SFM for short. This was the same tool they used to make the iconic Meet the Team shorts. For the first time, players could create their own animations and movies using TF2 characters and maps. Pretty quickly, YouTube filled up with fan-made skits, parodies, and full-on stories, which helped cement TF2 not just as a game, but as a huge creative platform.
Professionals have standards.
By 2013, TF2 was at its absolute peak. The game was getting regular updates, new maps, and weapons, of course. Tons of hats, and community was bigger than ever, and competitive leagues like UGC were thriving. This was also the year the Steam Workshop really started to shine. Valve opened the doors for players to design their own cosmetics, and a lot of those fan-made items actually made it into the game. For creators, it was a chance to see their work officially added to TF2, and for players, it meant the game never stopped getting fresh content. 2013 really felt like the height of TF2's golden era, where the community and Valve were working hand in hand to keep the game exciting. 2014 was a kind of turning point for TF2. Updates were still coming out, but the big class updates that used to shake up the game were gone. Instead, most of the focus shifted towards cosmetics and community content. Players were still really active, and the workshop kept the game feeling fresh, but you could tell the era of huge game-changing updates was starting to wind down. Even so, TF2 still had one of the strongest communities on Steam, and by the end of 2014, it had already cemented its place as one of the most unique and beloved multiplayer games ever made. After 2014, TF2 started to slow down. Updates became smaller, less frequent, and mostly focused on hats, cosmetics, and balance tweaks. The huge class-changing updates that used to keep the game fresh basically stopped, and the player base began to shrink. One of the biggest updates during this period was Meet Your Match update in 2016. It finally added official competitive matchmaking, so players could queue for 66 or Highlanders matches without relying on third-party leagues. The update also brought the new maps, cosmetic sets, and a few new weapons, but while competitive matchmaking sounded like a big deal, it didn't really solve the community's problems. Around this time, bots became a huge issue in casual servers. Automated accounts would flood games, farm items, or just spam, making it harder for regular players to enjoy matches. Cheaters were also more noticeable, and together with shrinking player numbers, this made casual play less fun for many. Still, for some players, Meet Your Match gave TF2 a little revival and kept the competitive scene alive, even if it wasn't enough to bring back the golden days of regular game-changing updates. Through all of this, through TF2 never completely died, its core community kept it alive. Through mods, fan-made maps, SFM content, and competitive leagues, even without big official updates, the game's charm, unique style, and tight gameplay kept a directed group of players coming back after years.
Dispenser going up.
Even after years of slow updates and shrinking player base, TF2 is still alive today, and surprisingly strong. Between 2022 and 2025, the game has relied almost entirely on its community to keep it going. Fan-made mods, new maps, SFM creations, and custom servers continue to give players fresh ways to enjoy the game. Valve has remained mostly quiet, but even small updates, bug fixes, or community spotlights are enough to bring players back. The game's charm, its unique art style, fun classes, and team-based gameplay hasn't aged a bit. Nostalgia keeps older players returning, while new players are constantly discovering the game for the first time, drawn in by its humour, creativity, and the sheer fun of teamwork. TF2 survives because the community refuses to let it die. It has become more than just a shooter, it's a platform for creativity, laughter, and memories, from epic matches to hilarious SFM videos. From trading rare hats to trying out crazy fan-made maps, TF2 has built culture that endures nearly 2 decades later. The game continues to bring people together, proving that some classes never fade, they just keep growing stronger with time.